Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs here, and this is What If Naruto Was Betrayed part 3, I believe so. Anyway, last time we left off with Naruto and Tsuki meeting Jiraiya, and they're able to find Jiraiya real fast. And since Naruto actually shook his hand with him, and when that happened, Naruto actually marked Jiraiya with a contract seal, which meant that he could teleport to Jiraiya at any time. And their training actually began. Naruto actually training with the summoning jutsu, and it's taking him quite a while to master, since he's not used to using that amount of chakra right in one go. Since he's used to using a lot of chakra, but more like little by little. For example, spamming the flying Raijin. So using it once, that, let's say, the 1% of his chakra, not even like 0.5%, 0.25, and then him using it over and over again, even less than 0.25, because his chakra is so immense. Him using it over and over again, it drains a lot of chakra, especially when he uses like techniques that take a lot of chakra to use. For example, like the Fire Phoenix Jutsu, the Fireball Jutsu, the Great Fireball, the Water Shockwave, the Lightning Style, Lightning Stream, all those techniques. And Naruto is really not used to using that much chakra at once. And now, while that was happening, Tsuki actually was tested by Jiraiya. Well, Tsuki had to put her hand in a scroll and engulf the scroll with her chakra. This scroll is a sacred scroll from Mount Myoboku, which tells you the affinity of someone's affinity much faster than actually trying to find out. And her affinity was different from other affinities ever found by that scroll. Her affinity was multiple ones. It was not only healing. Well, healing was the first one. Then it was Genjutsu, but that was obvious since Tsuki, Uchiha, Sharingan, Genjutsu. Anyway, so it was healing, Genjutsu, and also Taijutsu specialist. Since Tsuki's Taijutsu is actually really, really good. Well, it's not that she had an affinity for it. It's more like that she trained so hard that the scroll now thinks she has an affinity for it. But no, she really didn't. Her affinity was truly just medical ninjutsu. But since she trained so hard, she got 2 new affinities. Well, the scroll thinks she has 3 affinities. But then Naruto's like, can I try it? And Jiraiya's like, yeah, sure, why not? But remember, it takes quite a bit of chakra. And Naruto's like, it's fine, I am a Uzumaki. So he puts his chakra in it, and his affinity is actually ninjutsu, like most ninjas. But not only that, it's actually chakra transformation and chakra nature control. You know, the thing that he trained in with Kakashi and Yamato. Yeah, his affinity is to use those perfectly. And Naruto's like, interesting. So anyway, I'm gonna go back to my training, and Tsuki's like, wait, Master Pervy Sage, you said that the first one was medical ninjutsu, but I never learned any medical ninjutsus. Could you teach me some? And Jiraiya's like, I know a few basic ones, but I'm not really good at them either. My old teammate Tsunade, one of the best kunoichi that has ever lived, she is a real top tier healer, and if you were to ask her to train you, she'd probably say no though. But if you ever trained under her, you'd become a top tier ninja in healing, and no you not many people could ever rival you. And Tsuki was really impressed by how much Jiraiya knew about these kind of ninjutsu, and she's like, could you teach me the basics since I have an affinity for it? I'm pretty sure it should be easy for me, right? And Jiraiya's like, yeah, of course, here. If you read the scroll, you'll understand. I'm not really too good at teaching medical ninjutsu, but from what I heard is that you try to use your chakra and try to put them in all the chakra vessels to reanimate, well, to restart the chakra flow in case the chakra vessel, well, the chakra points are blocked, and to start increasing the regeneration of chakra. And Suki's like, interesting, but how about like when someone drowns or something? And Jiraiya's like, yes, that it's something called CPR. It's pretty normal. Most people know it. And Tsuki's like, oh, you can't just do it with ninja techniques. And Jiraiya's like, remember, ninjutsu are just enhancements of the body and thing. And CPR, medical ninjutsu, is an enhancement of actually treating someone manually. And Tsuki understands, and she's like, okay, I'll start training. And she actually got a dead fish to reanimate, and it took her 3 weeks. Even though she's a prodigy, it took her 3 weeks to actually master that basic, and now she has to master how to restart chakra points. And Tsuki actually will take quite a while to finish that, but there's only 1 week left. And Naruto, by this time, he actually mastered the summoning jutsu in 2 weeks. Yes, it took him 2 weeks. Even though he's a prodigy, it really was a toll on him, since he did have to fight Tsuki and a lot of strong fighters. Even Orochimaru, he had to fight Orochimaru himself, which ain't no easy fight. So Naruto is now training under Jiraiya in finishing his taijutsu training, because his taijutsu is Jonin level, but Jiraiya wants Naruto's taijutsu to be perfect, like literally on spot. Same as Tsuki. Tsuki does train in taijutsu a lot, even though she's mostly occupied with trying to restart the chakra flow. She is pretty strong, even well, she still trains, that's what I mean. And Tsuki is not an easy fighter to beat. Most Jonin would even struggle against Tsuki, and especially Naruto, since Naruto was actually able to beat Tsuki, and Naruto's IQ is much higher than a normal 12-year-old's one. Sorry guys, 1 second. Sorry, I had to get something. Anyway, and Tsuki and Naruto trained together for a while now, and it's been 4 weeks. Tsuki's actually getting really close to mastering the second bit of the training of the basics of, well, the basics of healing medical ninjutsu. She's nearly done 2 steps, and there's another 3 steps after the second one, because there are 5 steps: restarting chakra flow, restarting chakra flow, curing basic cuts and wounds, also regeneration of chakra, well, increasing the regeneration of chakra, that's 3, stopping internal bleeding, that's number 4, and number 5 is I'll just say this 4, because I'm actually not really, well, I don't really understand medical ninjutsu that well either. I never really understood it. Even in the series, I'm like, oh, she just trained for 3 years just to learn how to heal someone. And yeah, so anyway, anywho, the tuning exams finals begin. Naruto actually did promise Neji that he will show him that the destiny doesn't decide someone's fate, and Neji is like, we'll see that last, and he walks off, of course. But now Naruto's actually fighting Neji. Even though his fight was lost, it was still randomized, and he was actually able. Since Naruto has plot armor, he is paired up with Neji. And remember, these two are taijutsu beasts. Even Neji is way stronger in this wave because he saw the fight against Suki and Naruto, and he realized that if he doesn't train in this 1 month training, he will not even be able to come close to Naruto, because Naruto might be a prodigy, but since if Suki wasn't there, he was never going to be as strong as he is now. And since him and Suki don't really care about natural talent, they actually work hard. Even natural talents have to work hard. I know I kind of contradict myself there sometimes. I'm like, oh, he's just born smart, that's why. Nah, it's not true. I know that people, even though they're smart already or they're just good at something, they have to work hard to be as good. They're not just born with that skill. So Naruto and Tsuki actually have those kind of ideals, and unlike, they were still the opposite of Neji's. They still think hard work is much better than raw natural talent. So anyway, anywho, the exam begins. Naruto and Neji start off with a little bit of taijutsu to show off that they ain't no joke, and it was pretty high level taijutsu, especially since Hayashi actually decided to help Neji this once, because he does not want Neji to lose to someone like Naruto. And since Neji is still representing the Hyuga clan name, even though he's in the branch family, he has to train him right now because of and because of the tuning exams. And Naruto's really impressed with Neji's speed and reaction time with these blows, but well, not blows, hits, taijutsu, the little warm up. And then Naruto's like, anywho, it's time to really fight Neji. Are you ready? And Neji's like, oh, I was gonna ask you that question anyway. And they both disappear from the crowd's eyes. Yes, Neji is that fast. And out of nowhere, a massive, not massive, like in the battlefield, there was a little crater, like a spot where Naruto and Neji both exchanged 2 punches. Naruto on the right cheek and Neji on the left. Well, Naruto's left. For him is his right. Each other on their rights, and they both go flying. Since this was like right in the middle of the battlefield, since they began their fight like near the edges of it. So anyway, they both get blown back, but something Neji didn't notice is that Naruto actually punched him and left the contract seal. It wasn't really on his face. It was actually right before he got blown back. He touched his arm, and he got blown back. And Neji realized that he's already lost, but he might as well try. And he still has a trick up his sleeve. And Naruto's like, Neji, you've lost. Say goodbye. And basically Naruto teleports to and is about to Rasengan Neji, but just saying, Jiraiya doesn't know about the Rasengan. And Neji's like, this is where you went wrong, and counters with his palm rotation. And then I'll say that the palm rotation can combo in, and literally just comes in out of nowhere and starts using the, I said combo in, why I'm just thinking of Dragon Ball Legends, because sometimes you can cover change and you can just combo in straight away anyway. So Neji rushes Naruto fast, and Naruto wasn't able to actually dodge fast enough. Well, not dodge it, I mean avoid it. And anyway, Naruto, well, I mean, sorry, I'm not sure what I was talking about. So Naruto wasn't able to avoid it fast enough, and he gets hit by the 64 palms. And Naruto's chakra vessels, well, chakra points are fully locked. They're fully stopped, and Naruto's about to lose until he smirks and says, even without chakra, I can still beat you, Neji. Remember, I am good at taijutsu as well. And Naruto counters with an uppercut to Neji, and then flips around. Since his fighting style is really acrobatic, he flips around just like what I meant is that he jumps and spins around in the air, and he lands in front of Neji, and Neji's like, what the? And Naruto roundhouse kicks Neji to the face, and Neji goes flying into the wall. And remember, Neji took some real good, strong hits from Naruto during their little warm up, and Naruto really, he wasn't really going all out, so no one really noticed. But those small little taps, well, not taps, pretty strong punches for a normal person, but those small little punches, not the best, not the strongest, but fairly strong enough. Those little ones literally killed Neji over time, because Naruto was actually using his fire release to actually burn Neji at the same time, so Neji would suffer from damage over time, which means dot damage. If not, none of you know what that means. Dot damage stands for damage over time. Anyway, one thing I forgot to mention is that I'm kind of getting confused. If I get confused midway, I'm sorry. It's 2:30 a.m. and I want to go sleep, but I have to record for an hour because this wave is one of my favorites, and I really need to cover a lot right now. Since I did promise that on this part you'll understand how Naruto gets betrayed. Anyway, while this was all happening, Sakura and of course Neji lost, and now it's basically Sakura against Shino. Yes, Sakura is versing Shino, and Sakura actually is there, and Shino is against Sakura. But Shino didn't know that Sakura actually learned a lot more, and the fight begins pretty normally, and Sakura learned something that no one would have expected her to learn. She actually learned how to do her strong ass punches she actually learned on her own, just by training and trying to put a ton of chakra right on her fist before she actually punches, so her punches will deal a ton of damage. So she can just start off acrobatic, and then right before she lands her punch, she can increase the amount of chakra in her fist and annihilate, something similar to that. So Naruto is now Sakura and Shino are now fighting. Their match starts. The next one should be Gaara against Sasuke, and Shino actually begins by letting out his insects all around the stadium, not the stadium, well, the battleground. And Sakura's like, do you really think that's going to scare me? And she's like, not stone, earth style, earth stone edge. And this is like a move that I really liked from this anime series. I'm not gonna say what Pokemon anyway. So yes, it was from Pokemon. It was a move used by Crocodile. So anyway, I really loved it. It's something similar, just that it's much different. There's a lot more stone edges. So Sakura slams her hands onto the ground, and she says earth style, earth stone edge, and multiple bits and pieces of stone, the earth and the ground, which are really edgy. So they're really sharp. They all stab the bugs, and the bugs are neutralized. And this is when Sakura decides that that's her chance, and keeps her hands on the ground. And Shino was about to let out more insects, but remember, Sakura now can fight long range too, and she says earth style, and Naruto could feel that Sakura had bloodlust and she was bloodlusted, same as Tsuki. She's like, wait, are you feeling this, Naruto? Naruto's like, yeah, wait. And Tsuki was about to jump in because she knew something was about to happen, but Naruto's like, you're not allowed, Tsuki. Remember, this is the Chunin exams. Shino might be able to beat her. And Tsuki's like, are you assuming Shino can't? And Naruto's like, I'm not assuming anything. We don't know what Sakura has learned. We'll just have to watch and see. And Sakura then screams out, earth style, earth impaling jutsu. And this is actually a forbidden jutsu created by the second Hokage, who actually had all 5 chakra natures, according to the data books and according to the research I've done. And it's a pretty strong ass technique that impales your enemy or your opponent with spears made out of the stone, well, the earth, and it impales them, and then they can become bigger and bigger as much chakra as the caster well, emits. So this is when Sakura's like, anyway, you lose now. And just saying, the stone spears stay for a certain amount of time until they just deteriorate, and this is enough time for Shino actually well, I mean, Sakura getting close to Shino and jumping up, and she's about to punch the hell out of him, but then the proctor, well, you know, the proctor of the exam, Naruto, Tsuki, and also a few other Jonin stopped Sakura, and Naruto actually had Sakura's arm behind her back with Sakura on the ground, and Naruto's like, you've won. If you punched him there, he was going to die. And Sakura, Shino is one of your friends. He's been in the same class as us since the beginning of the academy. Why would you try to kill him? Just what's happened to you after the force of death? And Sakura's like, shut up, you brat. You know nothing about me and Sasuke. And Naruto's like, Sasuke? I didn't even bring him up. What are you talking about? Every time, Sasuke that, Sasuke this. All you do is be useless. But now that you're useful, you try to kill your own comrade? Are you dumb? And they have a little argument, but Naruto was actually in the wrong here, because in the Chunin exams, your killing is not illegal, and except for the new generation, killing is illegal because of peace between the nations. But here there is no real peace, and plus it's a leaf shinobi killing another leaf shinobi, so the sand wouldn't really mind it. It's better for them, to be honest. And Naruto's like, anyway, these should deteriorate. You're way too weak to keep them up for too long. And as soon as he says that, all the impalings deteriorate, and luckily Shino wasn't hit in too many vital spots. Only one of his shoulders, one of his arms, and one of his actually near the stomach, but he actually didn't fully go through the stomach. He just skimmed it, even though he has a pretty deep cut, but it was not as bad as getting impaled by one. Sorry guys, the impaling thing I actually made it up from something I saw in Dragon Ball GT a long time ago when I was a kid, and I really found it cool, but at the same time kind of scary. And also Shino's thigh got impaled. Anyways, let's not waffle on for too much. Shino's thigh got impaled, and one of his legs as well. So Shino's in a pretty bad shape, but Naruto, Tsuki actually learned how to stop the bleeding of someone, and she actually stopped the bleeding of Shino. And Naruto then used some of his own chakra, which he can use to heal as well. No one knew that, and Naruto's like, yeah, I can do that. Of course, it's behind the scenes, and Naruto uses quite a lot of chakra to actually reform Shino's flesh and bone, because one of his bone was fully gone for some reason, and not bone, more like just the flesh and the meat, flesh and skin. Anyway, skin is the flesh, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, Shino's meat. So Shino actually got healed by Naruto and Tsuki, and he thanked both of them, since Naruto's like, it's fine, we're your friends, Shino, you can always count on us. And Tsuki smiles, and she's like, yes, Shino, and you're our friend. And basically, even Hinata arrives. Hinata's still injured, and she's like, Shino, are you okay? And Shino's like, yeah, I am. And she actually they actually go back to the stands, and they watch the rest of the fights together. Of course, Shikamaru annihilates Temari with a 200 IQ win, but of course in the end gives up because he just finds it a drag. And then it's actually Gaara against, a few other fights go down, and now it's Gaara against Sasuke. Of course, Sasuke has 1 more minute left since his one was already prolonged to the last. Sasuke was right before Sasuke was about to get disqualified. Him and Kakashi appear, and Gaara smirks, saying, "Finally, I get to kill someone. Fresh blood." Anyway, so Naruto's like, this is not gonna end well. I have a suspicion. I have a bad feeling about this. And Tsuki's like, you too. Naruto's like, I mean, yeah. Look at both of them. You can feel the bloodlust in the air. Just that Sasuke's one is actually way stronger than his one. And just saying, in now, well, now, oh my god, sorry guys. So Sasuke actually has lightning release, fire release, and earth release. So he knows the impaling jutsu too, and so Sasuke actually knows the. I was about to say Rasengan, I meant Chidori, and he knows the great fireball, the fireball jutsu, the fire dragon jutsu, which even Tsuki knows. She never uses it though, and well, another fire dragon jutsu is like the little fire dragons that Itachi used, that jutsu, and also he has the Freetomo Sharingan, and yeah, his taijutsu is right a bit behind Tsuki's and Naruto's when they're not with weights, since without weights those two are on a whole different level, and Jesus, you don't understand. Anyway, oh, sorry guys, I just stopped the recording there. I'm really tired. It's 2:43 a.m. So anyway, the fight begins with Sasuke actually starting off with the impaling jutsu, and Gaara saying, "Do you really think that's going to hurt me?" And literally turns the actual battlefield into sand, so Sasuke can't do it anymore. Yes, Gaara has the ability to do that because Gaara is way stronger here as well. So Gaara has the ability, well, not, he doesn't have the ability himself, it's actually Shikaku giving it to him, since Gaara is really bloodlusted, same as Sasuke, and Naruto knows that. Naruto can feel the bloodlust coming from Sasuke, and Sakura's like, "Kill him, Sasuke, yes." And Naruto can see Sakura changed, and he's like, "Damn, these two are meant to be my teammates. They'll try to kill me if they came down to it. If they want power, they might even actually try it." And Naruto is kind of worried for his teammates, but it is what it is. So Naruto then just focuses on the fight, and he's watching the fight. And Sasuke is actually putting up a pretty good fight with Taijutsu, a really good one to be honest. And then what no one really expected him to do is take off his weights, which actually made him a lot lighter, but he's still a bit behind Tsuki and Naruto, just a little tiny bit behind, not as much, but of course is pretty strong, and his speed is increased exponentially. It's actually like Lee's speed now, especially since he has the Freetomo Sharingan activated. And what he does is that he punches the shield, well, the sand defense once really hard, which cracks it a lot, and then he actually uses a great fireball jutsu. Well, it was pretty big, a massive one to be honest. And while that was actually getting blocked by Gaara, Sasuke was ready with his Chidori. And something they didn't know is that the fire that the great fireball left behind was absorbed by the Chidori, and the Chidori actually turns red, and it's much stronger here. So once he actually hits once he actually hits 20 timer counts afterwards, that's when it gets really tricky, because that's when a lot of tryhards are there. Wait, sorry guys. Once he actually hits the sand defense, it literally pierces through and goes through Gaara's shoulder, and Gaara gets pissed off, and here is the rampage of Gaara. So Gaara goes all out, and the attack on the Leaf Village begins with everyone being put in a genjutsu, except for well, a few people were immune, like Sakura, Naruto, Tsuki, Kakashi. Um, so everyone except for Tsuki, Naruto, the normal people, and also Tsuki, since Tsuki's new here. Kiba usually did get genjutsu, but of course Tsuki is instead of Kiba, and Tsuki's Jonin level, and she's immune to genjutsus like this, unless it's the Tsukiyomi or something, or Kotomatsukami. Then I don't know what she can do. She can just die in it. So yeah, so of course Kakashi sees that Sasuke follows Gaara and the Sand siblings, and Naruto and Sakura are given the mission, and Sakura's like, I don't need this kid to come with me, and Naruto's like, I don't trust you anymore. There's no need. I can do it alone. What's the point of trusting you guys when you're about to kill one of your own teammates, one of your own classmates? And Sakura glares at Naruto saying it was a fight, you're allowed to kill. And Naruto's like, thing is, we're both... this time Naruto, Sakura and Tsuki, also Shikamaru, were sent to find Sasuke. And this is an A rank mission according to Kakashi. And Tsuki and Naruto are not excited at all. They're actually being serious now. And Naruto's like, Tsuki, are you ready? We can teleport him to him straight away. And so Tsuki's like, yeah, I am. And Sakura's like, wait, what are you guys doing? And Naruto's like, I already have a ceiling formula on him. I'm going to go and come back with him. And Naruto and Tsuki hold hands and they teleport. And Kakashi's like, when did this happen? And Shikamaru's like, it was pretty obvious for a few years. They liked each other, but I guess they finally decided to actually make some moves. And Kakashi's like, good for them. Anyway, I guess those two can handle that. Then Sakura already disappeared and says, how dare Naruto take Sasuke? I'm not going to let him touch him. I'm going to kill him if he touches him. And yeah, so Tsuki and Naruto actually teleport in front of Gaara and, well, next to Sasuke, who's actually in front of Gaara now. And the Sand siblings were there too. And Naruto's like, Sasuke, wait. You can't fight him alone. And Sasuke slaps Naruto's hand away. And his curse mark is actually getting turned on right now. And Naruto's like, what the hell? I thought we sealed her away. And of course, you know, Kakashi's seal is the more Sasuke wants power, the seal gets weaker. Or the more Sasuke allows the curse mark to take over, the seal gets weaker. But the more he doesn't want the seal to take over, or to the curse mark to take over, the seal gets stronger. Since Sasuke's seeking for power, he's power hungry right now. The curse mark is feeding off of his jealousy and destroying the seal, and Kakashi's seal. So Naruto and Tsuki tell Sasuke there's no need to fight. We need to go. The Jonin can handle this. And Sasuke's like, shut up, I'm stronger than anyone in this village. Even you, Naruto. In fact, I'll kill you one of these days. And Naruto's like, Sasuke, I don't want to fight you right now. Plus, you're my best friend, I cannot. And Sasuke's like, shut up, you damn loser. You've always been dead last. And Naruto's like, so what? And they're kind of arguing now, and Sand siblings take this as an opportunity to go and allow Gaara to transform. And what Sasuke does is that he says, Earth style, Earth impaling jutsu. And Naruto gets impaled, and Tsuki says, why? Young Sasuke, why? And Sasuke's like, you come behind me and I'll have to kill you too, Tsuki. I don't care about you or anyone. I'm going to get stronger and kill Itachi. And Tsuki's like, why would you kill our older brother? We should find out. There must have been a reason why he did this. And Sasuke's like, do you really think there was a reason for killing our parents? And he goes off, and Tsuki's left speechless at how much he's changed. Because back in the days, Sasuke was always trying to get Itachi's attention. Not saying that she didn't want Itachi's attention. She did want his attention because she did love Itachi as well. But of course, Itachi really had something else in his mind. Saving the village and his two younger siblings, or going with the Uchiha clan, turning his back on the village, and him dying, and also his two younger siblings who have nothing to do with this coup d'etat. And yeah, so of course Itachi chose to save his siblings, and his mother and father were like, just take care of Tsuki and Sasuke, of course, at the end, but of course they don't know that yet. And Sasuke is gone, and Naruto breaks out of the uh, impaling, and he's like, alright, Tsuki, we have to go. We have to go get Sasuke. He's not going to beat him. Gaara's not an easy opponent. And Tsuki says, I know, he is the One-Tails Jinchuriki. If he turns into the One-Tails, there's no way Sasuke will survive. And then Naruto's like, exactly, we have to go. Come, let's go. And Naruto was really tired now. And since he did get this candle, and well, his chakra vessels did get blocked. Well, chakra points did get hit by Neji, and Neji is now got Otaka no Jutsu as well by Naruto. So Neji actually, well, I mean Naruto then was about to go off, but then Tsuki blocked him and said, "Let me heal you first." And by this time, Sakura arrived, and Sakura took off, saying, "You damn loser! What happened to you now?" And Naruto's like, "Who else can only use this technique except for you and Sasuke?" And then she's like, "Good for you. You sure died there anyway." And Naruto's heart kind of got shattered because he thought of Team 7 as a family, but this is what's happening. But he thinks that it's not really, it's just because of the heat of the moment and not really being themselves, but it is them being themselves. Naruto's just acting naive, and he's trying his best to keep a good impression of his teammates. And just saying, Naruto actually did leave a clone hiding in the shadows before he left, and the clone actually did teleport to the third Hokage. Yes, Naruto left the seal on him as well, and now he's helping the third beating the Orochimaru, and it's actually going pretty well. The third isn't struggling. Hiruzen and Naruto are actually able to seal away one of the Tobirama and Hashirama together while taking care of Orochimaru at the same time, because of course, since the third Hokage in the data books, he's known to know all the ninjutsus and all the jutsus known to the Hidden Leaf Village, except for the clan exclusive ones like the Shadow Possession Jutsu and the Dojutsus ones. So he knows every jutsu, so he knows, and that's how he actually knew the Reaper Death Seal. So he must know some really strong sealing formulas as well, maybe the ones used by other sealers in the War Arc, you know. So now it's just Orochimaru who has a disadvantage, since Naruto knows the Flying Raijin. The third Hokage is still strong as hell, and yeah, he's done. So Orochimaru actually decides to escape before he dies, and Naruto's like, "No, you don't," and throws a kunai and teleports to it and kicks Orochimaru in the face. And then the third Hokage says, "Fire style, great, great, wait." Sorry, Fire Style, Majestic Destroyer Flame. Yes, he knows that too. Yeah, I know Madara knew that, and you'd think it's a clan exclusive one, but no, because it was actually in one of the scrolls that he had, so he learned it. Anyway, Orochimaru gets burned to a crisp, but this was enough time for him to substitute outside, and yes, he did the reverse summoning jutsu with one of his snakes, and the snake actually got burnt. So now Kabuto and the Sound 4 and Orochimaru escape. Even though Orochimaru did have to go through a bit of burning, and that fire wasn't no cold ass fire, it was some hot fire. And Naruto says, "Well, that was easy. Anyway, there's something more important right now. Third Hokage, you should take a rest." And the third's like, "No, I need to protect the village. Where's Gaara?" And Naruto's like, "I'll handle it." And Naruto looked really tired now, and the third noticed that even though Naruto really didn't use too much chakra in that fight, he looked really tired, and he poofed away like something really happened to his original. And the third Hokage is worried, and he goes to Shikamaru and what's his name, Kakashi, and alerts Kakashi that something must be happening to Naruto outside. And Naruto, and then Kakashi did tell him that he's gone to find Sasuke. So the third and Kakashi, well, the Kakashi actually sees back. The third Hokage is actually gone to find Naruto, and so Naruto is now following Sakura, and Sakura sees something that destroyed her heart. Sasuke being destroyed by Gaara while the Sand siblings are laughing, and Naruto actually threw two kunais, which Tsuki was able to teleport to them as well. Yes, Naruto and Tsuki are that much of good friends that, they bonded so much that they can teleport to each other's kunais now, because Naruto has Naruto and Tsuki made different kunais as well. In case they want to fight together, they would want to do that, because it'd be more efficient for both of them to be able to teleport to one kunai. And Tsuki actually teleported to them and knocked them both out in one single blow, and says, "Alright, we need to take care of Gaara." And Sakura's like, "Sasuke, no!" And basically she's like, Earth style. She goes on the ground and says, "Earth style." Earth impaling jutsu, and the spears actually become way longer, but as soon as they touch Gaara, they turn into sand. Yes, Gaara knows this. The jutsu is called the sand transformation. He learned it from Shikaku, since Shikaku is controlling Gaara right now. So that didn't work, and Shikaku actually extended his arm, since Gaara was half Shikaku form, and now Gaara has another Shikaku arm, extended his arm, and was holding Sakura, and started crunching up her bones, and Naruto's like, "No." And just saying, Tsuki on the way did heal Naruto. His bleeding stopped, but he was still tired because he just got impaled. It was like what happened to Vegeta in GT at the end of GT. I know it's not canon, but it was pretty cool how Vegeta kept fighting even afterwards. But it was really scary for me when I was a kid. I'm like, what the hell? Why are you impaling him? Anyway, I never said that. I said it in Italian since I was in Italy, and I watched an Italian dub. I like, if I had to watch an anime dub, it would definitely have to be Italian dubs, because I love Italian dubs, even though now I kind of find them cringy. So Naruto Naruto now says, "Alright, there's no time for this. We need to fight." So Tsuki, and then Naruto screams out "Tsuki" and throws two kunais again, and Tsuki teleports to one of them and is able to use a little sword that she kept in a scroll. She got it out and she cut one of Shikaku's arms off and took Sakura, and the other one she teleports to Sasuke and cuts the other one and takes Sakura and Sasuke, and Naruto's like, "Alright, it's time for you to go. You need to run from here." And Tsuki's like, "Wait, I won't leave you alone." And Naruto's like, "Go, Tsuki, there's no time." And Tsuki knows that Naruto is now being serious, and as soon as Tsuki goes, she looks back to see Naruto actually throwing making 4 shadow clones, which throw 4 kunais in 4 little sides, and then they both do some hand seals, which make a different type of sealing jutsu, and it's actually a barrier jutsu where no one can actually penetrate it. It's like the 4 crimson formation jutsu, is just a bit weaker. It's not red, it's actually just transparent, and it's actually really strong, to be honest. You could say around A rank barrier, A to B rank, but Tsuki really didn't have the time for this now. She needed to get as far as possible, as Naruto said, and on the way, she actually saw the third Hokage. Yes, the third Hokage actually caught up real fast, because he's way faster, and he sees Tsuki, and he asks what happened, and she says, "Naruto, he's fighting alone. He's injured, and he's fighting alone against Gaara." And the third Hokage arrived, and he actually slams into the barrier, and he's like, "Wait, what?" And then he sees 4 shadow clones of Naruto. They all scream out to the third Hokage. He's like, "Third, please, help me." And the third's like, "Let me in." And they're like, "No, help me. Keep this barrier up, please. I can't keep it for longer with my chakra. If I do, I won't be able to fight Shikaku properly." Since Naruto, Shikaku is now fully transformed. Gaara's fully transformed. And Naruto screams out to Gaara saying, "Gaara, I know how it feels to be alone. I know how you feel." And Gaara can't hear him because he's out of his mind now. And the third's like, "No, let me in. I can take care of Gaara." And Naruto says, "No, Gaara is not to be handled by anyone except for me. Only I know how he feels. Only I know a Jinchuriki who's been hated by his own village. Only I know how to turn Gaara back into a normal human being. Gaara right now is a demon. I have to turn him back." And the third Hokage can see that Naruto's being serious, and he's like, "Alright, let me take over this one." And he makes the seal of the barrier real strong, and the third really doesn't want to do this because he's letting one of his genin from the village fight off a one-tail beast. It's a tail beast, ain't no joke. And Naruto says, so, okay, thank you. And he slams his hand, well, of course he bites his thumb and slams his hand on the ground. It says summoning jutsu, and of course Gamabunta arrives, and the third Hokage is like, wow, Naruto can summon Gamabunta? That's amazing. Naruto's really Jonin level right now. And Naruto starts fighting with Gamabunta. Of course, Gamabunta gets a hold of Shikaki, but he always slips out because he's a toad. He doesn't have claws. So Naruto's like, "What's wrong, Gamabunta? What's wrong, boss? Is there any problem?" And and Gamabunta's like, "I can't get a hold of him. I don't have any claws." And Naruto's like, "Alright, I think I know how to do this. Do you know this jutsu called the transformation jutsu?" And Gamabunta's like, "Yeah, but we told I'm not good at it, and so you'll have to help me." And Naruto's like, "No problem." And he transforms him into the Nine Tails, and the Hokage's like, "Wait, what? Hold up. Whoa, wow, mad." Man transformed the whole of Gamabunta into the Nine Tails, and of course Gamabunta took care of Shikaki, holding him back, and Naruto in the end headbutts Gaara, saying and giving him a Takano Jutsu that they're both friends, they're both similar, they have to go, they had the same lifestyle. It's not easy to be a Jinchuriki. He knows it, he felt everything, and in the end Gaara's like, "Okay, I trust you, Naruto." And yeah, of course, that little speech Naruto gave, Takano Jutsu, completely changed Gaara for good. And of course, in the end, Jiraiya came with a guest. Yes, he came in with a guest, and summoned two summonings were summoned. It was a toad and a slug. Yes, Jiraiya actually went out of his way to get a teacher for Tsuki, and he actually convinced Tsunade with a drink. He kind of drugged her. No, I'm joking. He got her drunk and then basically did a bet saying that if he's able to knock her out in a fight, she'll come back. And Tsunade was really cocky then because she's drunk, and in the end Jiraiya did have to kind of try, but didn't want to hurt her in any kind of way, so he just got an opening, came behind her and chopped her to the back of the neck, and she fainted. Of course, Shizune saw all of it, and she smiles, saying, you planned this from the very beginning, didn't you, Master Jiraiya?" And Jiraiya's like, "I mean, that's the only way I can get her back." And she keeps her bets, of course, and unless it's to do with money, and she loses. And Shizune is very true. And Tsunade was actually really close. She was in a town near the village at that moment. It wasn't in the town where Naruto went, but it was actually the town a bit closer to the village. And now they come back, and in the end, the whole entire attack on the village was stopped. And the third Hokage did say that it wasn't the Sand's fault. They got tricked by Orochimaru himself. And Tsunade's like, "That snake again, even getting other villagers to turn against us." And Jiraiya's like, Hiruzen's like, "Us? Didn't you say you left the village?" And Tsunade's like, "This damn frog sage." And Jiraiya's like, "Toad?" And then she's like, "Yeah, this damn frog sage made me get drunk, and then they had a bet with me, and of course I lost since I was drunk." And she had a hiccup because she was still kind of drunk. And Jiraiya's like, "No, you lose all bets, so you shouldn't, even if you were drunk, you shouldn't talk a bet against me, especially because you know I'm stronger than you." And Tsunade's like, "Raw strength doesn't matter." And and then Jiraiya's like, "Then I would have still won. I have the jutsus I have, and Toad Sage mode would annihilate you. You only have raw strength and healing." And Tsunade's like, "If I use the 100 sealing, her forehead seal thing, the 100 sealing jutsu thing, yeah, that thing, I would have won." And Jiraiya's like, "Maybe, just maybe." Anyway, so of course Naruto wakes up. This time Naruto was actually out for 3 days, and he sees Tsuki next to him, and no one else, because everyone left. Of course, the third Hokage visited him, and also Tsunade was healed him up as well. And now Tsunade was actually finding a way to make the surgery for Lee a fifth. Before the surgery was like a 49% of death rate. So 51 you die, 49 you survive. But Tsunade found a way to make a 51 you survive, 49 you die. So yeah, Tsunade's pretty good. And now that she found it, she was about to do the surgery to Lee, but then here's that Naruto woke up, so she wants to check up on him first, since the first time she saw him, he reminded her of her little brother, and because of the hairstyle, and of course once he woke up, he thanked Tsunade and actually respected her for saving his life, because he was in a critical situation, in a critical state, and Tsunade's like, no worries anyway, I gotta go. And Naruto's like, okay. And of course they're not as close right now, but of course Naruto will get closer to Tsunade, because Tsunade loved Naruto as her own child. If you guys saw, she actually did love him. Not that way, like a motherly love, you could see it. Anyway, now Naruto is with Tsuki, and Tsuki's that, you were so reckless, you nearly died there, and Naruto replied by, at least I saved my friends, right? And Tsuki was like, yeah, you did. And she smiles at him, and but then her smile disappears into a sad look, and she's like, but they didn't even come to visit you. And Naruto's like, it's fine, they're just embarrassed to think. I hope so though. And Naruto's kind of sad that they didn't, the two people that he risked his life for to save them didn't even come and say hello to him. And just saying, Tsuki actually did put the two Sand siblings somewhere safe as well, because Tsuki is not that stupid to leave just even them two. They didn't really deserve to die, so since they didn't really do anything bad, she knew that something was up. The Sand wouldn't attack the leaf like this. That's what she thought, but it's true, the Sand would have if the actual Kazekage decided to, but of course it was just Orochimaru. So yeah, now the Sand and the leaf have a treaty, but the third Hokage actually asks Jiraiya to become the fifth Hokage, and Jiraiya really didn't want to, and he says Tsunade is a much better fit for the fifth Hokage spot. I have many things to do, and now that she's back in the village, she can become the Hokage. And of course, Tsunade gets convinced in the end, and the fifth Hokage is assigned. And the only reason this happened is because Naruto, sorry, Hiruzen needed Naruto's help to actually beat Orochimaru, and he knew that by himself, if Orochimaru had such jutsu, he would never be able to beat him unless he used the Reaper Death Seal, which is the one-shot kill. And so he knows that it's not easy to fight in his age, and Tsunade actually had pity on him. Is that, alright, I'll do it only because you're now an old man, sensei. And Hiruzen's like, you haven't called me that in years, Tsunade. And Tsunade's like, whatever. And of course then the little Itachi thing happens, and this time Itachi was actually here with Kisame, not to visit. Well, he was here to visit. He actually sent a letter to the third Hokage saying that he will come, and the third was ready, but then at the bottom of the letter he said, also one of my teammates will come, so please be aware and do not engage us, because if you do, I'll have to fight, or my cover will be blown. And the third really didn't have much time to respond, since he's coming the next day, and by the time he responds, it's gonna be the day after, because the Falcons are not too fast, and he doesn't know where Itachi is. So Hiruzen actually tells Hiruzen is ready, and he didn't know that they actually sneaked in. He thought they were just gonna walk in through the front gate, and everyone would just attack them. So he was ready there, but he didn't see them. And yeah, so of course not Naruto, of course the little fight against them actually begins, and this time Tsuki and Naruto hear about it, and they rush towards the fight. And also the word spreads, and people are in panic now since Itachi Uchiha's back, and with someone strong and who's known as one of the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, and his name is Kisame. And people feared Kisame back in the days, so they don't want to see him. They don't want to get annihilated by him or either. So they ran away, and Sasuke heard about this and rushed towards the scene and sees that the Jonin are fighting him. And while that was happening, Tsuki actually was already there, and he says, "Tsuki, not of course." And he actually rushes towards Itachi, and he's like, "Itachi, how dare you come back?" And of course, he already has his Chidori ready, and with the other hand, he does the Great Fireball Jutsu. And of course, Itachi avoids it, and what Sasuke does is that he shoves his hand into the fireball, and the fire engulfs the Chidori, and the Chidori becomes red. And Itachi is really impressed by this, and he's like, "You've gone stronger, little brother, but of course you're not strong enough." And he says, "Kisame, cover my back," and strangles Sasuke and puts him to the floor, holding his arm down. And Sasuke was trying to get out, but he was getting strangled, and all the other Jonin were trying to help Sasuke, but of course he was he was actually getting strangled by Itachi. And Kisame was holding all the Jonins back, of course. And Tsuki's like, "Brother, why are you doing this to your own siblings?" And Itachi is like, "You guys will never be able to beat me, that's for sure. As long as you guys have those eyes, you need to have these eyes." And he puts Sasuke in the Genjutsu, the Tsukiyomi, and for 3 seconds, and he's traumatized, and he's no more a threat. And he goes, Tsuki is kind of scared because she thinks Sasuke is dead, but she attacks Itachi. And then Naruto says, "No, Tsuki, wait," and stops the attack and says, "Remember, you did say you wanted to know why not to kill him, right?" And Tsuki's like, he killed my younger brother." And Naruto's like, "Look, he's still breathing. He's not dead. He's just unconscious." And Tsuki can feel, and Itachi could feel that Naruto and Tsuki had some connections, and he knew that he could already tell that Naruto will be the one to lead Tsuki and his younger brother to the right path. Of course, they're both his younger siblings, and he trusts Naruto and smiles and says, "If you want to know the reason why, you need to get my eyes, the same eyes that I have right now. If not, you'll never be able to beat me." And then he says, "Kisame, let's go." And Kisame lets one little last slice, but gets blocked by Might Guy, who came out of nowhere to save the day. And of course, he saves one of the Jonin. It was actually Asuma who was about to get sliced into 2 pieces, and he saves him by kicking the sword. And Kisame is like, "Yeah, I'm not going to fight him." And yeah, they both flee. And by this time, the third Hokage arrives, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm late. Did anything happen?" And they're like, "There weren't any casualties, but Sasuke's in a critical state." And they take Sasuke to the hospital, and they realize that Sasuke is traumatized by that Genjutsu thing put him in. And then Sasuke gets healed by Tsunade after the surgery with Lee. And Sasuke is pissed off at Naruto because Naruto was already there at the scene with Tsuki, and he's like, and not just saying, when he woke up, Naruto, Sakura, and Tsuki were in the room, and Sakura was giving a death stare to Naruto and Tsuki. And when Sasuke woke up, he was so pissed off. He's like, "Naruto, I want to test my strength against you. I know you're weak, but you've gone stronger, and I want to show you that I am the alpha here." And Naruto's like, "I don't want to fight you, Sasuke. You just got injured from a fight against an Akatsuki member. You know that." Well, because they know that now the Akatsuki are making a name for themselves, and they just got attacked. So Naruto says, "No, I don't want to fight you," and Sasuke drags him, and Tsuki actually tries to stop him, but of course Sakura's like, "Leave them alone." And Tsuki could feel that Sakura didn't like her anymore. And yeah, so Of course, they go to the roof and they have the little quarrel, and Sasuke decides to use the Chidori, and Naruto really doesn't want to use the Rasengan, but if he doesn't, he's going to get annihilated. And Sasuke actually does a fireball, which he wants to absorb, but out of nowhere, Naruto absorbed it, and Naruto's like, wait, what? How? Hold up, how? And his Rasengan was actually fiery and red, and Sasuke is like, you were hiding this too, and Naruto's like, I don't know what this is, but. And then out of nowhere, Kakashi arrives, stops both of them, throws them both away, and of course Sasuke's Chidori actually made a bigger hole this time, and Naruto's Rasengan actually destroyed the tank. Yes, it destroyed it because Naruto's strength was so immense, and he's like, Sasuke, I only taught you that move to protect your friends, not to use it against them. And Sasuke is like, shut up. And he goes off even more jealous than before, and Sakura goes off as well, saying, Sasuke, wait. And Sasuke slaps her away, and she's left on the roof. And of course, Kakashi's like, I'll go talk to him. And he ties him up, of course, and he leaves, saying that revenge is not the right path to go. And in the end, Sasuke does still meet the Sandfall here, much earlier, since the events were changed in this what if, and Sasuke does get the opportunity to become stronger with them, since they showed him that their curse mark is on the second state, which makes them exponentially stronger. And Sasuke's like, how do I get this? And he's like, and they're like, you come with us to Orochimaru tonight at 10 p.m. If you come with us, you'll be able to get the second state of the curse mark and become stronger than that Uzumaki brat. And Sasuke's like, alright then. And at 10 o'clock, Sasuke is walking, he packed his stuff and he's walking towards the gates until he saw Sakura. And Sakura's like, Sasuke, I guess you're leaving, aren't you? And Sasuke's like, yeah, so what? And Sakura's like, I'm leaving with you. I don't care about this village, I only care about you, Sasuke. And Sasuke's like, you're too weak. And Sakura's like, listen, I hate Naruto as much as you do. I want to kill him too, you know, right? And Sasuke's like, no. And he just leaves and actually karate chops, knocks Sakura out, and he's gone. 10 minutes later, she wakes up. Since her durability is a bit stronger, but not the best, not as strong as her Warrock self, of course. Anyway, she wakes up to Naruto next to her and says, what happened, Sakura? And she's like, Naruto, Sasuke left, please. She's not crying this time. She's like, it's kind of an order from Naruto. And just saying, Naruto was actually with Suki. They actually wanted to get something to eat because they were training and they got hungry. So Naruto and Suki heard this and they're like, alright, they need to go to the Hokage's office. And they tell the Hokage makes a Sasuke retrieval team. And this time Kiba's replaced by Tsuki. And I'll say that when they start this, Sakura actually leaves the village behind them. They didn't notice, not even Tsuki and Naruto, because they were worried about Sasuke. And they actually catch up to the Soundfall. Of course, Shikamaru is a Chunin now. Also, Naruto and Tsuki were promoted to Chunin as well after their courageous acts. And so there's 3 Chunin there. Of course, Neji's gonna become a Chunin soon, and Choji is going to become one too. But right now, Naruto is now on the chase for Sasuke, and well, the Sasuke retrieval team, and Sakura's gone past all of them when they actually get stopped by the fat guy, and of course, Choji says, I'll handle him, you guys go. And Shikamaru's like, Choji, just don't use the red one, please. And because he's worried. And now it's Sasuke. Well, of course, one by one, they all, now it's Neji who stays. And the third one, I believe, the third one, I believe it was the girl. Tsuki stays back and handles him. And now it's the 4th one, which Naruto, not the 4th one, Kimimaru actually appears here. And since 3 of them are already occupied, now Kimimaru arrived saying that you take Sasuke to Lord Orochimaru, I'll handle this one. And Naruto starts an intense fight with him. And of course, out of nowhere, Lee appears, and just saying, Naruto's fight was intense. Their taijutsu was on point. Of course, Kimimaro did impale Naruto a few times, not as bad as the one that happened with Sasuke, but he did lose quite a bit of blood, more than before, because Tsuki wasn't there to heal him. And Lee appears and says, "I'll handle this," and then Tsuki appears as well. She's saying that she handled the other one, what's happening, and she sees Naruto, and Naruto's like, "Alright, thank you, Lee." And she's like, "Wait, Naruto, let me heal you first." And Naruto's like, "There's no time, sorry," and leaves. And Tsuki and Lee are left against Kimimaru. Naruto is now following the fourth one, and Sasuke actually woke up by now, and he's like, "Alright, where do I go?" And sees Naruto, and he's like, "Alright, you just keep going to the Valley of the End, I'll catch up to you." He doesn't know the ends, wait for me there. And now Naruto against the fourth one, you know, the twin brother guy that he can split into. Yeah, so he's up against him. Naruto really has no mercy up against him, because he doesn't care about him, and he fights with his true strength. He says, he throws two kunai, saying kunai shadow clone, and they all multiply. There's around like 200. They all miss, but they're really not what he was trying to go for. And just saying, when he threw them, they were wet, so all of them are wet. And Naruto teleports to each one of them, punching both of them at the same time. And one of them he Rasengan, and the other one, when the other one went flying, Naruto's like, "Alright, now you lose," and lets out all his lightning release, or well, his strongest lightning release, jutsu, and says, well, not jutsu, he lets out a ton of chakra with using the lightning release, and says, "Lightning, lightning style, lightning stream." And the other brother is like, "Wait, what?" And he gets electrocuted, and of course Naruto then's like, "Fire style, great fireball," and incinerates that one. And the other one is left, and he's like, "How dare you kill my brother?" And he tries to attack Naruto, but Naruto left a contract seal on him when he Rasengan him, and he teleports, ducks down, and does another Rasengan. It's much stronger, and this Rasengan explodes violently, which annihilates the other brother. And now Naruto follows Sasuke where Sasuke went, and he actually catches up to him. And Naruto lost a ton of blood, a ton of chakra, and he's losing stamina over time. And now he's up against Sasuke, they start their little taijutsu fight off. Naruto was actually a bit more sloppy here, since he's weaker, he's bleeding, he's out of chakra and everything. And Sasuke goes into his Curse Mark 2 state, which then Sasuke's like, "I don't care about the village, nor my brother, nor my sister. In fact, I'll kill her too after I kill Itachi." And this pissed off Naruto enough, is saying that, "Enough's enough, Sasuke, you're coming back with me." And lets out the one tails, and he starts fighting. Of course his bleeding stops and everything, so his fighting styles are much stronger now. And Naruto uses the flying Raijin quite a bit, even though he's nearly out of chakra. He can only do one more Rasengan. And that one Rasengan, what he did, you know, the Rasengan and Chidori clash, that never happens. Naruto actually threw a kunai, and he had enough chakra to do it. And because even though he has a little bit, just enough to do a Rasengan and a flying Raijin, teleports underneath Sasuke and Rasengans him, and Sasuke gets annihilated because the Rasengan was real strong and hit him when he wasn't guarding his stomach. And Sasuke is out of his Curse Mark 2 state, Naruto's out of it, but Naruto lands on his feet, shaking, saying, "Sasuke, you're coming back with me." And Tsuki actually can see Naruto now, yes, Tsuki. And of course the Sand Village, well, the Sand siblings came to help out the Leaf Village, and Lee was left with Gaara to handle Kimimaru, while Tsuki said, "Can I go?" And they're like, "Yeah, you go help Naruto." And she sees Naruto standing while Sasuke is on the ground, on the water. And Tsuki's like, "Yes, Naruto won." And then she sees someone sneak up on Naruto while Naruto is giving his little speech. "Sasuke, you're my best friend. I will never let you go. We're friends, Sasuke. You have to trust me. I can help you get stronger." And out of nowhere, Naruto gets impaled from the back with a sword. And also Naruto got impaled on his around his liver, and he was bleeding violently now, since he's not in his tail beast state, or the Kurama cloak, the one tail cloak. He's not cloaked now, and he's not getting healed. So Naruto's bleeding. He falls to his knees and looks back and says, "Why, Sakura? Why? You're the one who asked me to help you get Sasuke back." And Sakura kicks him in the face, saying, "You're nothing to me, Naruto. I never thought of you as a friend or a comrade. You were always a pest, getting in mine and Sasuke's way. You see, Sasuke, I told you I'd be useful." And Sasuke smirks and says, "For once you were. Let's go." And Sakura says, "Now rot in hell, scum." And Naruto's like, "Please, don't leave. No! Sasuke, Sakura, don't!" And Sasuke says, "Shut up, you loser. As you can see, you lost again." And Naruto got betrayed. His heart is gone. He thought of Sakura as a sister and Sasuke as a brother. And he thought Team 7 as his own family now. But as what happened to him right there, Naruto's whole life, Naruto's whole life of being alone and having no friends, and now that he had a team who he considered as family, betrayed him, that just broke his heart. And Naruto was ready to die. He's like, "What's the point of living now? There's no need. They hate me. This hatred is building up inside of me. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them." And Tsuki watched all of this and she was crying because she really couldn't do anything because she was fully out of chakra, and her eyes activated again, her Sharingan activated, and her Mangekyo Sharingan actually showed, and she ran up to Naruto, hugging Naruto, saying, "I'm so sorry I couldn't help you." And Naruto's really not even reacting to Tsuki hugging him or anything. He's just there, ready to die. He's bleeding, and Tsuki's like, "Let me stop this bleeding." And she pulls out the sword. Naruto really didn't feel any pain at that moment. That him getting impaled is nothing to compared to the pain that he felt as he got betrayed by his two people he thought of family, the two people he loved. He loved them with all his heart, and Naruto was getting healed by Tsuki. I know she was out of chakra, but plot armor. So yes, plot armor. So Tsuki's healing him, and she's crying, saying, "Naruto, please respond, Naruto." And she's crying, and one of her tears actually hit Naruto's eye, and they actually flowed back out, and she can see that Naruto was actually crying, and she's like, I understand, Naruto. You're sad. Your own teammates, the people who you thought of for family, betrayed you, but you need to." And she just shut up then. She's like, "What am I trying to do? Even I would be like him." And yes, Naruto did get betrayed now. As you can see, it's not, I know many people were thinking, oh, it was going to be Tsuki, but no, Tsuki was built to be with Naruto forever. Anyway, by this time, Kakashi arrived and sees Tsuki hugging Naruto while Naruto was just looking apathetically in the sky. He's like, and Kakashi walks towards Tsuki and asks what happened, and just saying, Tsuki explains everything. Apparently Naruto was won against Sasuke, but then he got impaled by Sakura, and Kakashi clenched his fist and said, "If only I was here, I could have stopped all of it. Of course, I had to be on a mission on the worst days, every time. First my friend Obito, then my friend Rin, now my own two students. I'm just a bad teacher, aren't I?" And Tsuki's like, "It's not your fault. It's none of your faults. It's mine. If I just was here for Naruto." And then Kakashi said, "There's no need to beat yourself up for this. Let's go back to the village." And just saying, the other Shikamaru, Choji, Neji were taken back to the Leaf Village already. Of course, Naruto and Tsuki actually went back as well. Naruto was actually being carried by Kakashi while Tsuki was behind him, and she was tired as well. And when they got back, Choji had to have a surgery because Choji used the red the red pill. Shikamaru's character development actually started growing on him because he nearly lost all of his teammates, and he was in charge of this team, and they all near enough died. Even Tsuki was impaled by one of the bones, and she actually still had one. And Naruto was hospitalized because of his chakra loss, his wounds. And while this was happening, Tsuki visited him every day, and Naruto just looked apathetically. He didn't talk to anyone, not even Jiraiya, not even Tsuki, not even Tsunade, not even the third Hokage, not even Kakashi. And they were all worried about Naruto. And while this was all happening, all his hatred actually died. All his feelings died. He doesn't have any feelings for nothing. No hatred, no pain, no love, nothing. No happiness. His whole life, he's just reflecting over his whole life. And once Tsuki actually came to visit, and she didn't find Naruto, and she was worried about him because Naruto wasn't in the best of mind. He wasn't in the best mindset right now. So she ran around the whole hospital until she got to the roof and saw Naruto standing on the rail. And then Tsuki ran up to him and hugged him and pulled him backwards and says, Naruto, please don't. Yes, Naruto actually wanted to commit suicide there, but of course Tsuki stopped it just in time. And she's like, why are you doing this? Naruto, please, I need you. If you are gone, I'm never going to be able to live. I'll kill myself too if you die. And that hit Naruto hard, and Naruto started crying again and said, it's because of me. I couldn't stop my friend, my best friend, from leaving the village, my own teammate from leaving the village. How am I ever meant to become Hokage if I couldn't even save a friend? And Tsuki then, yes, this might be weird for you guys, Tsuki just kissed him. Yes, character development. I'm joking. The ship is happening because a lot of you guys want the Tsuki ship. And Naruto's eyes widen, and Tsuki lets him go and says, and Naruto asks why. Why are you doing this? Every time anyone I'll come close to, they either leave me or they get hurt because of me. Even our team, the team that went for Sasuke, I was close to them, and look at them. Even you were in the team. We all near enough died there. It's all because of me. If only I'm gone. If I'm gone, this whole thing would have never happened. If I wasn't here, Sasuke would have remained in the village. Sakura would have never hated me, and she would have stayed. But of course, it's because of me. And Tsuki's like, no, please. And now she's literally on top of him, hugging him, crying, saying, no, it's not because of you. You've always been the best of friends. You're always there for me and anyone who needs it. You're the best, Naruto. And yeah, so Naruto is still he's feeling sad and happy at the same time, because now he knows that Tsuki likes him and it's not one-sided. But at the same time, he just lost two of his best friends and two people he thought of family. And his team, well, he wasn't in charge, but still he was trusted with getting Sasuke back, and he failed his team. So Choji, Shikamaru, Neji, Utsuki, even Lee, near enough just died there, and he still failed the mission, and he realized that he cannot be a ninja anymore. And once he got dismissed from the hospital, he goes to the Hokage's office, where Tsunade, Shizune, also Jiraiya, and the third Hokage and Kakashi were there. They were actually talking about Naruto, and he walks in and says, Lady Tsunade. He doesn't call her Bachan since he never really got to that point yet, and he does know about her habits, and he will start calling her that in a few parts. But of course, he walks in, and Tsuki actually walks in too, because she knew that Naruto must have been here after getting dismissed, and they said, and she heard from a few people that he was heading towards the Hokage tower, and she's outside the door, and she overhears the conversation between Naruto and the fifth Hokage, and the others are listening. He's like, I want to retire from being a ninja. I cannot be a ninja anymore. After failing this mission, I realized that I'm not fit for it. And of course, the third Hokage, Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Kakashi, and Shizune all say, no, you're not. And they're all arguing with Naruto, saying, no, you're not going to retire. You are perfectly fit to be a shinobi. You're in fact a Kage level fighter right now. Yes, Naruto is Kage level, since he did take down the One Tails on his own. So even though Gaara was already injured from the Chidori still, and then Tsuki walked in with tears in her eyes, saying, Naruto, no, and she just keeps saying no, and Naruto realizes what he's just done. He not only did he make his the person he loves cry again, but also he hurt her. He literally, it's like, and it's, I don't know how to explain it. He feels like he betrayed Tsuki right there, and he's like, no, don't cry, please, no, it's not you, it's not because of you, it's me, I'm just too weak. I cannot be a shinobi anymore. And Tsuki's like, no, if we were stronger, if we weren't as weak, we could have actually beat the Sound 4 and got to you faster. It's not you, it's none of your fault, it's mine. I just stood there when I saw Sakura sneaking up on you. I just didn't have enough chakra, and I thought Sakura was just there to help you, but I was wrong. My decision was wrong to just watch. I sure helped you. If anyone should retire from being a shinobi, should be me. I made the biggest mistake there. If only I stopped Sakura from impaling you, this wouldn't have never happened to you, and they wouldn't have left. But of course I made the wrong decision. Once again, I let down my own ninja way, because her ninja way is like Naruto's, never to go, her ninja way is to always protect her friends and her loved ones. Of course she couldn't protect her loved one there, and Naruto's like, no, Tsuki, you cannot stop being a ninja. You need to find out why your brother did it, right? Why you can't. And Tsuki's like, if you're going to, I'm going to too, and there's no need of me being a ninja anymore. So if you're not, I don't want to be a shinobi if my loved one's not one with me. And that kind of hit Naruto hard, because now he has proof that Tsuki is in love with him, and Tsunade is like, young love, every time, and he pisses me off anyway. So that's what she says, and everyone starts laughing, and Naruto is hugging Tsuki, saying, okay, deal, I'll stay a ninja as long as you stay a ninja. And they all kind of have a heartwarming moment, because now they actually know, well, not all, Tsuki and Naruto actually know how they feel inside. No, how they feel, and and they understand each other to a great extent. And now that they've been in a mission where they nearly died together, the one where they both got betrayed by Tsuki, by one of her best friends Sakura, and her own brother, and Naruto from his best friend Sasuke, and Sakura, his teammate, who he thought of both of them as his own siblings, but of course it just wasn't meant to happen. And yeah, so Naruto is now back on the grind of becoming a shinobi, and of course his dream is not to become Hokage, because not anymore, because he says to himself, my dream is not to become Hokage. I won't try to become Hokage until I get Sasuke and Sakura back. And she and Tsuki's like, yes, I want to get them back as well, and I want to understand why my brother did this. And then she's like, but of course I'll beat you to become Hokage. And Naruto's like, remember, that's still my dream, you know. And they train together, but then one day Jiraiya appears, and he says, Naruto, I've found out that the Akatsuki are searching for Jinchuriki, and I know you're strong, but I want to make you stronger, because if all of them attack you, they will get the Nine Tails out of you and you'll die. So I want to take you out of the village for 3 years, or 2 years and a half, and train you myself. Of course, it's your choice. And Naruto says, yeah, but as long as we can take Tsuki. But then Tsuki says, no, I can't. There's something I want to do myself. And Naruto's like, huh? Wait, what is it? And she's like, I asked Lady Tsunade to teach me medical ninjutsu, because I believe that if I knew better ninjutsu, not better medical ninjutsu, not only could I have helped you in the Gaara fight, but also against Sasuke, I could have healed you before you went after fighting Kimimaru. So Naruto understands, and then Tsuki, just saying, Tsuki did tell the Hokage, the two Hokage right now, also everyone that was in the Hokage office on the day when Naruto and Tsuki actually understood each other. They know that Tsuki has the Mangekyo Sharingan now, and she needs help on mastering it. That's why she has to stay in the village, since Kakashi will stay, and Kakashi will help her since he has the Mangekyo Sharingan as well. He has the Kamui, and he'll help her use it, help her understand, and I will tell you her abilities on the next part. Also, this has been an hour and a half video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please take care, stay safe. This was the King of Weebs here. Also, subscribe to Ratreet and Miniman123, and big thank you to Shokiro, my friend. I won't say his real name. He helped me. He actually made my new YouTube profile picture, and I love it. He made it from scratch, no references to any anime. Maybe the cloak from the Akatsuki cloak, but of course he must have made that because he knows I love Naruto. Anyway, I hope I'll leave a link to his Instagram down in the description below as well. Go follow him if you wanna. He makes amazing art. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed. Please take care, stay safe. This was King of Weebs, and peace.